Good morning, quilt bombers. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day today. Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday. All right. So I have a little bit of an update today. A little bit. So let's see here. We're going to start with this. I finished the top and it's basted. I've got it all basted up with the backing. It is all done. I finished it up and basted it. I am very happy about that. So, hold on. I'm going to go get my thread. I got my box. It's in a drawer. I have one of those little organizer things. So in this boat, I'm thinking this thread is going to work. So I got to get my bobbin because I already have bobbin full of the thread. Now, if I can find my spool, and I don't keep anything organized in here. It's just, I've got spaghetti thread. This is a Wonderful 12 weight thread. I've got an old FQS thing with some threads in it. I've got a bobbin case. These are all from Fat Quarter Shop. This, I'm not sure where I got this from. I may have gotten this from like Allison Glass or something like that because she's really big into that. Another bobbin boat. That's not the one. But this is the one I'm thinking of. Do I have a bobbin of that? I used to. I don't know that I have it now. There's not a whole lot of thread on this spool, so I probably won't be using that. The bobbin that I got is a darker thread. So I'm thinking I can find that spool. I found it. It's a Gooderman. I think this will work. Let's set this aside. See all my threads? Yeah, it's the same one. Let's take a look here. I think this is going to work. Even if so, I could put some salmony color one on the back. But this thread, it appears as if it's going to work just fine because it blends in very well. See that? So I think that's going to work out just perfectly. Just as I thought. So at least I can put this in the top. I might change out my bottom. I don't know. How does this look on the back? I'm not really concerned so much about the back because I don't see it. You know what I mean? So I can use this bobbin up. Otherwise, I don't think I have anything in a salmony color, pinky color. So I've got the threads all chosen and I am ready to start quilting this. And I think what I'm going to do is just sew a 1/4 inch on either side of the straight lines all the way across and just do, I don't like stitching in the ditch because I'm not that straight. And I'm just going to follow the seam and do a 1/4 inch on either side, I think, or at least on one side. I'll see how that goes when I get going with it. But I think that's just how I'm going to do it. So it'll be like a grid. I'm not going to go diagonally, even though that's kind of almost my preferred method is the diagonal diamond stitching. My printer is just going crazy over there. It's the second time already that this has happened. So the Scarlet Star mini quilt is almost complete. It's basted and ready to go. I have the fruit medley runner ready to go. I have I mark my lines. I'm going to with this one, and I use this So Line marking tool. It erases with air. So depending on how hard you mark your line, it could take 2 or 3 days for it to disappear, but they do disappear. And I use this tool. And I will do that on this just because of the size of this quilt. And I'm going to use my walking foot. And when I put the walking foot on, I can't use the bar. So, and I'm going to use the walking foot. So the bar won't go in. I don't have any other way of doing it. So I just mark the lines. And I'm going to go like 1 inch to start all the way along the whole length of this. And then when we get to going in the other direction, we have to get a ruler out. And hopefully my lines are straight enough that I can just follow those. And that will work out just fine too. But we're going to get started on this. And then, as I'm not one to, I don't like to change my thread very often. And the fig tree, the fruit medley runner, I can use the white thread that's already in my machine, both my bobbin and everything. So I'm going to continue using that thread. So that way I don't have to change out my thread. So I don't know if I'll get started on this today, tomorrow, Friday, but I will be getting to it. So, and when I do use the bar to measure out, so if it's like this one here, I'll probably not use the walking foot, but then I use this ruler and I stick my needle in one of the lines so that I can set the 1 inch mark, which is this little hole right here. So, but I use this tool. I broke off the corner. I used to use this little corner piece, and I still can, for binding on so I know where I mark the point where I'm supposed to stop stitching on my binding. I don't do that so much anymore because I'm getting really good at it. I made a lot of my project bags that I made. I put binding on just as if it was a quilt. So I gotten really good at that because I made lots of those. So there is the update on that quilt. And then sitting on the monthly minis, I have all of the strips cut to start making this. So I can get onto that so I can get my blocks 1 and 2 assignment, my personal assignment to myself, to get those 2 blocks done this week. So that's ready to go. And all of the strips are all set up here as to what needs to be sewn together. So there's probably, I cut all of the strips necessary for the entire quilt, but I only want to have blocks 1 and 2 done. If I get more done than that because of the strips, I can subcut those into enough to do more than one, then I'll do that. But I'm only planning to do 2 blocks right now. So let's see. And I also got all of the greens cut for the 20 blocks that I need. This was left over from the first set of 20. So I have 1 orange one in there, but otherwise I have all of the greens cut. I have pulled out a neutral to go along with each one of them. And I have 1 block made. I did that while I was sewing up the last rounds on the mini, on the Scarlet Star. So yes, I've got a good start there. I've also started cutting pieces for the Hometown Sew Along. Blocks 25 and 26 are right here. So this is my sample blocks. I pulled out block 2 and block 11. No, block 6 and block 11 are the same one as block 25. So I have samples to follow. And this is block 26 pieces. And this is the same as block 4 and block 19. So I have those samples and I numbered them so I make sure I put them all in the appropriate order because they kind of go in that order according to the sew along guide. The first 10 go in the first row, the first, which is the very top of the quilt, and then through 20 in the middle, and then through 30 at the bottom, towards the bottom, and then through 40 at the very, very bottom because there's 10 in each row. And then blocks 27 and 28. I've got all the backgrounds cut out for these, and I'm working on getting the others. But block 27 is the same as block 5 and block 20. And so that way, if I have to go back to a video, the first 10 of her on her YouTube channel for the Scrappy series that she has, there's the hometown blocks 1 through 10 on there. So if I need to go back, I can look at the video for number 5 and remind myself how to stitch this together because it's been a minute since I've done it. And she's got cool little tips and tricks, and she does things a little bit differently. And then the same here for block 28. The backgrounds are cut for that. And it's the same as block 2 and block 15. So if I have to go back, and I probably won't for this, but it's very simple for block 2. So I am ready to get going on those. So I'm making great progress. And the other update that I have, Laundry Basket Quilts Birthday Mystery. I did my fabric selection yesterday for block 22, which was this block right here. And this is how mine turned out with my fabric selection. And I really like it. I started sewing this second round of the square to square and had the lines going in the wrong way. Ah! So I had to take it out and redo it, but I wanted them all to be facing in the same direction. So however I put the first one on is how I wanted the whole thing to go. So block 22 is done, and this is the heart block that I made to go with it. Yay! So there we go. We are still on schedule, and I will throw these in the pile, the order in which they were made. There we go. The last week's, and then at the bottom of the pile for the hearts. And put that away. Then I can throw this out. Actually, I'm going to fold it in half because I use this scrap paper. And I will put it over here. And so I thought and was hoping that today we could do fabric choices for the piece baskets, block number 2 for the May Sew Sampler box, but it didn't come yesterday. But it is coming today, so I'm very excited about that. I can sit that over there. What did come, though, in the mail yesterday was my 1/4-inch bias tape maker. So the red and white quilt, back on the schedule because I can make bias tape. So stay tuned for that because I will be showing you my idea again and see how a 1/4-inch works. I used a 1/2 inch and it didn't work so well. I couldn't make the curves without being a little lumpy. So we're going to try it again, making 1/4-inch bias tape and see if that works any better. So I did get that in the mail yesterday. So my soap sampler box is coming today. I think that's it. So when I start quilting the fruit medley quilt, I will show you how the marking tool, if it leaves any marks and stays there, and how they disappear, because I use this all the time. When I was quilting my project bags and stuff, I drew lines, and I also press after each line that I quilt so that everything stays flat and neat and nice. I press the front and I press the back. You know how you set your seams, or as Lori Holt calls it, she squishes the seams together. I do the same thing with quilting. So especially for smaller items like this that I have taken it out of my machine. I'll just press it before I put it back in both sides. So that way I can keep track and I can keep a ruler on it to make sure I'm staying straight and in line. So if things get a little off, I can make adjustments. All right, there we are. I think that is my complete update for today. I am going to be leaving the house for most of the day today, but I will be back later this evening and to make dinner for my son and I, and then I will get back in the room and start sewing some things up. I want to get all of the pieces cut for this because maybe tomorrow is just a sew along. I'll have an update on whatever I do tonight. And then we'll just sew along tomorrow. I'll probably work on Hometown just because that's a big project. And I want to get the blocks done because I've already started cutting those. And then I can start cutting out the stuff for the sheep house. I'm looking forward to that. Little sheep. I want to see the little sheep. So I am looking forward to working on that one. So let's hope I get home at a decent hour. You guys have a great Wednesday, and I will see you back here Thursday, May 30th. Do you believe it's only 2 days left to this month? Half the year is almost over. I just can't believe how time is flying so fast. All right, you guys. Have a fabulous Wednesday. The sun is shining here today. I'm excited. Tomorrow is yard work day, so I plan to go to Menards today and find a plant, a perennial. I'm thinking of clematis to plant in my garden tomorrow. In my yard, someplace. I've got an idea, and I'll have pictures and stuff like that to show you because if I put it where I think I'm going to put it, I have a little painting to do. Stay tuned. You might see something there. You guys have a good day, okay? I love you, and thanks for being here. Mwah. Bye now.